Hello, girls. I have to start off. I usually say I don't like to apologize, but I'm going to because I do not know what happened. We just finished the webinar. It was fantastic. We had girls show up and be interactive and ask questions. Such great questions. But for some reason, I think I had clicked at one point to share a website and it stopped recording. So I do not have the recording sessions, but I promised you that I would give it to you. So I am now recreating this in a very shortened version. So I wanted to make sure that you have it, any of you that could not sign on tonight. And I know I probably had about 30 people all together, and we didn't have that, which was fine, but we still had some great gals who showed up, but I did promise you. So stick with me because I forgot because we just finished this. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Jennifer Kupcho. My friends call me Jen. If you're a one-on-one client of mine, you call me Jen. Anyone in my community of 700 women, call me Jen. I am a spiritual mindset coach. It's very strange not to be signing right now because in my group I have my master's in deaf education and I have women in there who are deaf. So I always sign. But for now, I didn't have anyone. I don't think I had anyone sign up that was going to be asking for that. So I'm not going to sign. And I don't want to sound like an auctioneer and speak that quickly, but I'm going to get it all done succinctly. Let's put it that way. And I'm not going to push any buttons that I shouldn't, hopefully. So I am a spiritual mindset coach. I've been coaching for about 3 years now. I started as a Beachbody coach. I do teach full-time and I coach full-time. I used to say that I taught full-time and I coached part-time. That's when I was at Beachbody. But now that I have my own business and certification through life coaching, specifically spiritual mindset coaching, I do find myself holding 2 jobs. And I love them both. And it's hard because I have not chosen to do anything besides, I made a decision yet, but I do love them just as much. I work with women one-on-one. We have small groups. Primarily what I do is guide them into taking down the blocks, keeping them from what they're looking for, finding their purpose, feeling their purpose. We all have it and we know it, but we've forgotten and we block ourselves from that. So tearing down the blocks, keeping you from happiness, from success, from everything, because life is abundant and we're meant to share in that. So that's what I do in a very short nutshell. Now, to give you the webinar, let me find my screen. This is so strange not talking to anyone right now. I guess it's like making a video. All right, so let me find my screen and let me find, okay, that was the very end. So sorry, we just finished that. Let me start at the beginning and walk you through it. Okay, so play. I don't know how that happened, but okay, so play slideshow. It's just you and me now. We did have some great questions and shares. I'll try to remember what they were at the end. So going live with confidence. And am I a business mindset coach? Well, business coach, no. I'm not going to tell you. There's so many things I'm still learning about using things like ActiveCampaign and lead pages and things to push your business forward. But what I am comfortable with is the mindset section of it. And that has a lot to do with going live. And that's why I can share this with you, because this I have a comfort level in being able to share with you. All right, so let's start off with the first one. It's like I said, it's so strange I'm doing this a second time. My husband's probably like, where are you and why are you still in there? Because I couldn't find the whole first one. All right, why should I go live? Why should you go live? I can't say it enough. Connections, connections, connections. And not connections like building your website or your email list. Connections in that we are humans and it is our nature to want to connect with other human beings. And technology is great, but it's done something to be very much into clicking on our phones. Ooh, that was a nice little light there. Clicking on our phones, hiding behind a computer, putting posts that look so perfect on a screen that no one can connect with this perfect lifestyle that doesn't exist anyway, that word perfect. I say I'm a recovering perfectionist because I'm still working on that. You should have saw when I made it this first time, somehow there was a red mark that went across this slide that was in all of the slides that followed. And I'm like, this is my test to not let my OCD get the best of me. So connections with people, they come first. Whatever service or product that you have that you know that people want, and they do, That comes second to connecting with people. Authenticity is the second. That's when we can see people as being real. They're not just a cardboard cutout that you're like, selfie. Not that I don't take them and I use them, but authenticity is when you're real, when you're on the other side of the screen and you're like, oh my God, I so get her. Or I am not connecting with this person at all and I'm going to click off. She looks too, not to say judgment, but she just doesn't connect. So maybe her life seems too perfect and you just don't connect with that. That's fine. That's why you can move on. And trust. When you connect and you get to know someone, you have a trust, and that trust takes you everywhere. So that's what lives do. There's nothing wrong with recording something, but when you can do it live, we're going to go through as we move through what that's going to do for you. All right, so where do I start? That's kind of my question when I first started going live. Actually, when I first started with Beachbody, there was no live. You'd have to make a recording and then put that up, and then came the lives. Know what you like. This is where you do your homework. This is where you go through YouTube or go through other people's pages and watch people. See what it is that you like, because whatever you like is going to be what you give off. And if you find someone that's always like there's a couple of people that just not my energy. They're like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, ooh, it doesn't work for me. Why doesn't it work for me? Because that's not who I am by nature. What I'm attracted to is a piece of me. Everything that you see in someone else is a reflection of you. You may not know it yet, and you may not be there yet, but you wouldn't be attracted to it if it wasn't a piece of you. So do your homework, go through, see what you like, and don't worry about them being in your business. I find myself watching someone do makeup or they were doing a hairstyle, and I'm like, I don't really care about the hairstyle, but I liked watching them. They pulled me in. That's what you want to watch for. That's what you want to look for. What is it that's pulling me in? Is it their energy? What is it that they want to share? Their style? Why do I feel like they're authentic? Why do I feel like they're authentic? Is it because when they're going live, their 2-year-old is toddling by and crying and they pick them up and put them on their hip and you have that interaction? You're like, I like that. That's real. And that's something to keep in mind as you're going live, so you don't feel that it has to be so perfect. When I first started, I tried to keep everyone out. I'm going live right now. Don't bother me. Don't come in, I'm going live, don't talk too loud. And then over time, I think they just started ignoring me and my kids would come in to ask me questions or ask me for money. That always seemed to be the big one. Mom, I remember one time handing my pocketbook, I'm still going live and pulling out cash to hand them. That's real. And when I watch other people, I realized that that's what attracted me to them, because it wasn't staged. And that's when I stopped worrying that someone might interrupt me or my dogs might go crazy barking, which they do. That's really important. So your first step is to know what you like. Watch other people and know what you like. Second question that I'm going to hit is, what will I say? You want to find ways to go live to connect with your community, if you have a community going, with your group, with starting a following. And it doesn't matter what you go live with, as long as it matters to you. Don't judge that, okay, well, this has nothing to do with, I don't any longer, but I sell Shakeology and this has nothing to do with Shakeology. That doesn't matter. Is it you? Are they going to be able to connect with you? Or are they going to know what you're about? That's more important than the product. The product should come separate, and the service should come separate. Start making lists. And here's some lists that I'm giving you some ideas. And these are some things that I did in the very beginning. Like, I wish I knew. So meaning you did find out something and you're like, oh, I wish I knew this before. It would have made life so much easier. And it could be something small and simple and take 5 minutes as a live, and guarantee if it hit you, it's going to hit someone else. I know this is going to sound silly, and this was not done in my first one, but I came across some kind of YouTube the other day. I forget what it was, and I did it this morning. My hands had come out of the wash, and they were a little tight. And I had just watched, it was some girl doing, it was either a live or a YouTube that was hacks, like, women hacks. And she used a spray bottle on her pants. And then from not buttoning to buttoning, it was like that. And so this morning I went, oh, wait, I watched that hack the other day. And I went and got the spray bottle, spray, spray, spray. Oh, so much easier. So my point being, this was doing it more than once. I never know what's going to come out of me. My point being is that someone needed to hear that. I needed to hear that, and I ended up using it today. It would seem like a silly, useless thing at the time, but I used it today. So I wish I knew that. I did, and I used it today. Life would have been easier, or would be easier, if I had known, or if we just did such and such. Like for me, my son has ADHD, and one of the things I would say right now, and I could do lots of different talks, but one of them would be that not everything is a lesson. And that's hard for me as being a teacher and a mom, that I wanted everything to be a lesson to help him as we went through. And now looking back, it didn't all have to be a lesson. Sometimes it could just be fun and silly and crazy, and it didn't all have to be a lesson. I could do a whole nother one on not being, how could I say this? Not being judgmental. Like when my son or daughter would come into the room, right away I thought I was being helpful by saying, oh, something's in your hair, or your shirt, something on your shirt, and one time my son said to me, can I just walk in and you see me and not what needs to be fixed? And never in a million years did I ever think I was trying to fix him. I was trying to help, in my mind. But that was a huge piece. I could definitely do a short piece on life would have been easier, or I wish I knew this, either one of those, it would fit in there, and talk about that with my son. How many other people would connect in some way as a parent? So make lists like that. Things that you are like aha moments. If it's an aha moment for you, it's one for someone else. Mom hacks, great. Just like this, the pants, that's an easy one. Personal development books and topics I'm constantly reading. And now I have journals all over my house. Forget now. I have them everywhere. And if I read something that just hits me, I'll quickly jot it down, because if it hits me, here's the thing. If it hits me, it's meant for someone else too. That's how it works. There's a oneness, that we are all connected. And we need to stop thinking and letting the ego speak to us that, no, nobody else wants to hear it. It's just me. No, that's a lie. Someone else needs to hear it. If it hit you and struck you, it's going to hit someone else too. Okay, so personal development, huge. So if you're reading something, or just even reading a book that is great and you want to share it with someone else, that's a great topic in there. Actually, I'm thinking of something right now that I did not say in the first one, so I'm actually glad I'm doing it again, even though I'm tired of hearing myself speak. The last one on here, I better write that down before I forget it, is specific skill that you can share. I did one live on using a flat iron to curl your hair, which is what I did. I'm writing this down before I forget. Who am I? Two. Really important. Okay, before I forget that one. I haven't done makeup because I haven't wanted to take off my makeup to put on my makeup at 47. It's like, I don't know if I'm not quite ready to be that vulnerable. I'm not authentic, what I was trying to say, vulnerable or transparent. That's what I was looking for. Not transparent yet. Face painting I do. That's one I can actually do as a live. I should do that at some point. But don't question, like, how does this fit in my business? Don't worry. How does it fit with the people I'm connected with? That's what you want to look at. All right, so what will I say? What equipment do you need? Basic. Right now I'm on a computer. Most of the time I do my lives on my phone. I know some people have, I have a reminder. I don't know what a reminder is for, but I have, some people do it on cameras. I don't know how I would do that. I just do it on my phone. So a computer would work. You can do live on computer now. Smartphones work. Obviously, and that's truly all you need. Stop waiting for a perfect time. It is. When you do it is the perfect time. There's no such thing as a perfect time. So jump in there. That's what you're here. That's why you're watching. And that's what I'm sharing right now. Where I came from, where I wanted everything to be perfect. What you can move to along the way, I've used green screens. I have stands. I don't know if I can see. I'm going to try to turn you because I did. There's a real live. There's like stands in the corner there. I don't know if you can see them. That when they get put together, you can put a green screen on them or a backdrop. I don't do them for my lives, though you can. It's just too much technical stuff. I just usually jump into my room, and I don't usually do that. But I have done that on courses and programs that I create. Backdrops you can buy. Light, that's what you just saw, a light ring. Okay, I do use that. That was probably about a year into going live that I ended up investing in that. And I felt that really is good for me, because right now when I can do it is in the evening, because I teach during the day, I coach at night, and it's dark I'm in New Jersey right now, and it's, summer will be better, but it's dark right now. So that light ring is great. And then the phone just kind of, it holds the phone right in there. So that's something you can move to. Tripods, I don't have one because I think one of my kids stole them again, one of my teenagers, but I think I can buy them for less than $7 I bought them at Walgreens, Target, and they have just the little legs on there. I have one that looks like this. This is a microphone, but it looks like this, and your phone goes in it. Those are great, portable. I take them with me. I end up propping them up on things. I'll go outside and put it on a table. Right now, my computer is propped up on things because I needed it to be higher, and it's a laptop. It's not a standalone. A wide angle lens, don't love. I do use it sometimes because I sign, and then it gives me more room to be in. But the problem I find with it is it gives me more room, but then it makes my body all disproportionate. So I don't know. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. And that just goes on the phone right here, and it makes everything, you get more room in there. What else I got in there? A faux wall. All right, so I'll show you. This is kind of cool, and I got it at Target. Can you see it back there? Over my head. That is, to me, it's like grown-up or glorified contact paper. Remember contact paper you put on the drawers and things like that in your kitchen? They sell it at Target. They sell it, and I've seen it at Michael's, Joann Fabric, depending on where you are, and it comes off the wall. So it's not permanent, and it's not wallpaper that you have to put up. So I bought two rolls of it, and for a long time, even before I did that, I did all my lives just in that little corner over there, and then I'm like, this is so cool. I'm going to buy that. And I can do pictures in front of it if I need to. Anything I can do, a hack that makes it easier for my life at home. So a faux wall if you want to, but none of that is necessary. Again, do not be waiting till you get that. And then you just saw there's a couple different microphones. I do this sometimes when I'll do an audio so it sounds clearer and you can get that better. And then I also have like a lapel one that I'll do because you can do Facebook audio live. It doesn't have to be also visual. So that makes it more like right now I'm using a microphone. So this is the microphone that's picking up right now. All right. So I don't normally, my lives, I'll tell you, I don't normally use my microphone because I'm signing and I'll knock something over guaranteed. All right. So that's more advanced equipment that you can use. All right. Now something fell before. Now it's not even. Here's the question I get all the time, but oh my gosh, I'm so scared. What if I mess up? So let's get this out of the way. You will mess up. Stop perseverating on it. It's not perseverating. I don't think I said that right. It's not the goal to not mess up. That needs to take that off the table. Your goal needs to be to connect with others. Your goal needs to be to share your love. Your goal needs to be to find out what others need from you, what you need from them. And I can say this because I'm the person who came from that mindset that I don't want to do it because I'm not going to do it perfect. I say I'm a recovering perfectionist, and that is the truth. But when I learned about what's that next one that I've got here, mindset, fixed mindset versus growth mindset, rocked my world and changed my world. Fixed mindset is where I lived most of my life. Into my adult, maybe about 4 years ago. And that's where I was the perfectionist. I didn't want to get it wrong. It was black and white. There was no in between. I did it right or I did it wrong. Talk about judgmental, totally judgmental on myself. And when I did some reading on it, it was amazing. I brought it into my classroom now too, especially my 8th graders. It's such a developmental age where no one wants to be wrong or be viewed as less than, but we feel the same way as adults. The growth mindset is that, well, that was a mess, but how can I do that right the next time? Or, well, that was just the beginning, so now I have another chance. Now, tonight, I did this entire webinar. At first, I was like, are you kidding me? Because all the people were on the side and we were interacting, such great questions. And I finally said, stop. Stop, Jen. There's a reason. It didn't work. Do it again. You promised them, so fulfill your promise to them, and that's it. That's as far as we're going to go. Stop. And even now, as I'm doing it, I start to find myself rolling back. Well, I already went through this and they asked such a good question. I'm like, so as I'm speaking to you, I'm like of two minds and I'm saying, stop. Shh. I'm telling me to be quiet because I have no idea why it didn't tape. It started and then it stopped. So let's get it out there. There's going to be debacles. And now I do apologize ahead of time because as I just did this, they told me they couldn't hear it. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it or not. I tried to fiddle with it now that I was going back and doing this again. I'm going to turn the volume up as high as I can. If not, you'll still see what happened to me in this because it's very visual. So just wait for it. You'll know exactly what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to take my microphone out and I'm going to turn it up. And this was only maybe about a month ago that I totally messed up on this, but I laughed at myself and so did everyone else. It was probably one of my higher volume lives.
Has some sage, has some oils, a lot of great things. Yeah, you know what? We should look at this. We just came up with a whole new thing. Spiritual toolbox. Seriously? All of you like business women out there, here's a whole new market. I don't think I've heard of that. I just came up with that. Wish we had 4 hours in a day. And backwards. I know. Let's see, can I fix that? I can't leave it there. Let's see if I can fix it. Which part do I hit? Hold on. Nope, that is not it. That's my wall. I'm so sorry. Oh my God, how do I get you back? Oh my God. Uh-oh. Wait, what did I do? Okay, wait, hold on. I think I can figure this out. I'm upside down. Oh, that's unique. No, that's not working. Okay, that's a first. Okay, hold on. Oh my God, I needed that today. Oh my God, I'm laughing too hard. I can't find the buttons. Ooh, I'm losing it. Jen, you're losing it. How did I do that? What? I could have a crown too. Oh my God. Let's see. Wait. All I was trying to do was turn me. Oh my God, I got hot. There you go. Oh my God. All right, there you can see it. Spiritual warrior. Oh my God. Only for you guys. Everyone should have a spiritual box. And I lost all your comments too. I don't know what happened here. I'm still here. Can you see me? Are you guys still here? I don't know what happened. I don't know. Can you guys still see me? Because I see me. Say yes. Okay. All right. Oh my God, I'm so hot. I was like, okay, so I'm going to stop it there. Now, I don't know.
I'll have to watch it back to see if it actually, if you could hear it, because the last time they couldn't, I felt that. But visually, you could see what happened. I will be honest, I was like, oh my gosh, I honestly did not know what I hit. I was trying to flip it so you could read what was on my shirt, and then the whole thing went debacle. But I went with it. I figured the worst came to worst. I was going to have to say that I was going to have to end it because I couldn't get them back. But I actually made light of it. And then I went back in and told them exactly where they could see it. I think it was like 2 minutes and 21 seconds. My world turned upside down, literally. So my point being is it's not going to be perfect. And take that off the table, because if you get real with who you enjoyed watching and went back to see who you liked before, guaranteed they were not the ones that were trying to be perfect. You liked them because you connected to them because they were real, and you could see yourself being, messing up or someone coming interrupting you. That's what you have to remember. It's not a mistake. It's a connection. And if something goes awry, that's exactly what happened, there's purpose in that. There's purpose in that. I have to keep forgetting. I'm really sorry because I'm looking at me. I'm thinking it's like a live when I'm seeing myself, and the camera's a little green light over there. So I am sorry. I figure like, why is she looking off into the corner? Because this is crazy because I'm not actually talking to anyone. All right, I'm going to try again. I don't know if this one will work, but try.
Not, you'll at least, I'll just say it to this, but I'll tell you, like when I talk to my students and I say, we're going to read this, look for this. Just watch. I'm very animated. Any of you who know me already, or I might be new to you, I am, especially with my signing. This is one of the first, it's not even live. It was the first, I just pulled that out. I hope you can still hear me. I'm just realizing that because I was going to play it. Oh, sorry.
One of my first recorded videos when I was still working for Beachbody. And the funny part, the ironic part here is I was I was inviting people to come to my coach's webinar. And I remember thinking, oh my God, thank God I'm not giving that. I don't know how she talks to these people. Like, I don't know how she could do this. And here I am giving a webinar. I was inviting someone to someone else's webinar because I couldn't even imagine being able to do it live. Isn't life flippin' awesome that things change like that, things that you couldn't imagine? So step out of your comfort zone. All right, I'll try it. If not, if nothing else, just watch for like I barely move my lips as I'm talking through there because inside I was petrified. But my point was I still did it. Do it. And then keep your beginning ones because it's great to see like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. How far have I come? It's the only way to continue working in growth mindset is to have things to compare it to as you go along. So I'll set the volume up and let's see if it works.
Hi guys, I'm just popping in real quick to remind you that Tuesday night is my team's webinar. I know many of you have contacted me through individual messages asking me what the coaching opportunity is all about and what I do and if I can please explain it. So the best way I can do that is to invite you Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, and I will put the link right in this page. So if you're interested, please come out and you don't have to do anything. Just log on and you'll be able to listen, and most of your questions will be answered. If you have more, then send me a message. But I'm looking forward to.
I love that. I go, I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Yeah, I really look like I was looking forward, really looking forward to, hearing. I'm really looking forward to hearing from you. But you know what? Again, I'm not judging me. That was little Jen. That was young Jen starting off. And I'm so glad I have that. And I have something to compare to. Not to say, oh, I was terrible, but to say, oh, look at the growth in only 3 years. And I'm in such a different place. And not just visually. So I was 3 years younger there. But in a comfort level. Because tonight I was totally excited to talk and to meet with all these women and you that might be listening to this now. All right. So practice makes comfort. We're not looking for practice makes perfect. That is not attainable the minute you try to set that for yourself. Now, that does not mean you don't prepare or get yourself together, but don't worry about being perfect. That is, I'm doing this twice tonight. How many times can I say that? So it happens. I'm still actually, as I'm speaking to you, I'm praying that whatever happened didn't happen, and it's still recording because I can't tell. All right. So stop looking for perfection. That's not the goal. Take that off the table and you change the whole game. The nitty gritty on how I did this in the beginning, I don't as much now, unless I really want to cover things and I want to tick off and make sure that I hit them. And then sometimes I'll use notes. Like right now, I don't have any notes, but I have this to follow along. But I would, in the very beginning, literally script out what I wanted to say. And then I went from there and practiced in front of the mirror. And practice in front of the mirror and practice in front of the mirror and spoke to myself. And my kids would open the door sometimes and look at me and they're like, close the door, my teenagers. And that gave me a sense of comfort. I wasn't going for perfection, but I was going for more comfort. So a little bit, that's why I say practice makes comfort. I still was working outside my comfort zone, but practicing in front of the mirror gave me some comfort. I say call on your cheerleading team. You know who your friends are. I know some people are like, I don't want you to log on. I don't want you to see me. I needed that support. I wanted, my rah-rah girls, like, I'm going to go live. Can you come in? It's amazing what happens when you see hearts come up or someone says, hey, Jen, how are you? It's so nice to see you. How's it going? It's like, oh, I have friends. Instead of talking just to yourself, like I am right now, just talking to myself. But it's very comforting. So know who your cheerleaders are. Call me. I'll come to your live. I'll be happy to cheerlead for you and send you out in silent. I always say, like, send you out hearts. I would be happy to do that. But it's important. It gives you a sense of calm. And then you can actually have like a rolling dialogue. Good. How are you doing? Oh, today was a hard day, or today was a great day. But when someone speaks to you, it kind of puts you in at ease that you have a friend sitting on the other side. So find your cheerleaders, know who they are. Talk to you. I can't say this enough. When I was in Beachbody, they would always tell me, find your niche. And I was trying to figure out, this age, and do they have kids, and what do they do for a job, and where's my niche? And I'll be honest with you, I have over 700 women in my private community right now. We are across the board. We've got, I don't have teens, but I've got college students to young mothers, which I'm not any longer, to me, middle-aged, to grandmas, I just had someone sign on from Nigeria today. I have people in the Netherlands, Australia. It's amazing. I'm going international. But we share the same energy. Talk to yourself. If something hits you and you feel drawn, listen to your inner guide. Someone else wants to hear that and needs to hear that. So talk to you and how you would want to hear someone. Get out of your head that you're doing it for them. You're doing it for you. I don't know. That's probably the most basic way I could say it. Practice on your phone. This I did. So I did my script. I did in front of the mirror. And then I literally took my phone in the little over there, had the light on, was sitting exactly where I wanted to sit. And I put the camera on. I didn't record it, but I put the camera on so I could see myself, and I knew where I was, and I would go through it a couple times. I'd watch myself. I want to see what I could see in the background, just how I was fitting in the screen, and that gave me a comfort. So again, practice makes comfort, not practice makes perfect. Okay, so on my phone, that was a big deal. Create a catchy title, like sometimes to draw people in. And one of my lives was talking about the F word, and I know I got a few. People didn't always stay, but they like, what is she talking about? I was talking about fear. And it was, I kept that light to kind of draw people in, and it was fear. So I always try to not just be like, we're going to talk about fear today, but draw them in. And if you can't think of that, then don't worry about it. That's just something else to add in there. And of course, press the button. I literally, in the beginning, I'm a spiritual mindset coach. I found myself taking a deep breath, saying a prayer, surrendering. I don't have to do that any longer. I do ask for guidance. I ask that I'm a vessel. I ask that the right people be connected. I believe that they will be. Sometimes it's about me. Sometimes it's about someone connecting with me, and I needed to hear something they said. But I did. I did a quick prayer. I did a quick meditation, and my heart raced. I will tell you, for a very long time, well, very long time for me, it felt like a very long time. But I was a huge perfectionist and anxiety person, and that started to go away. And the only way that went away was by doing it again and again and again. And there's nothing else but that. There's nothing else but showing up, being consistent too. I would say, be consistent in how you show up. Maybe it's once a week. I think I want to set a time in my group. That's something new that I want to move towards, because I do it when it's called. I mean, it may work for me, it may not, because I also very much believe in keeping open. And when something calls and the spirit calls to me, that's when I go live. And if someone watches it later on, so be it. I'm not worried about how many people show up right then and there. I'm more worried about the message. And that's what I would say to you too. This is what I wrote, and I feel like now it came back to me. Here was a huge question I had for a very long time, and I want to share it. If there's nothing else I can give to you, I want to give this to you. In my mind, it was, who am I to share this? Who am I to tell someone else this story and what to do? They're going to feel like, I think I just said gonna, sorry. They're going to, judge me that, who am I to do that? Because I felt inside of me, who am I to do that? And here's something that came across in my studies and A Course in Miracles that I work through. And I don't know, I can't quote it exactly, but what it was, how dare I not use the gifts I was given? They were not mine to call my own. They were given to me by, however you want to say, God, the universe, Buddha, Allah, you name it. It's however you feel comfortable. But they were given to me by God. I wasn't given my life. I didn't give myself my life. He did. And so when I read it that way, that how dare I not? How dare I hold back on what was meant to be shared? Game changer for me. Instead of me asking myself, how dare I? Not how dare I, but who am I to, I feel like a fraud. I don't have anything special compared to someone else. Yes, I do. You do. We all do. And so from a spiritual mindset coaching piece, because that's what I do, that's what I'll bring into you right now. And that was a life changer for me, for sure. How dare I not use what I was given? They were my gifts. And those little pieces of intuition when we think, I'd like to do this, but the but is the ego. The I'd like to, or I feel like someone might That's the gift. So how dare we not use what was really not ours to begin with? It was a gift given to us, every piece of us. And that's the piece I stick with. And that wasn't in the first one. And have fun. Have fun. May not be in the beginning, but have fun as you go along. All right, so I'm going to wrap up, and I'm going to offer you the same thing. That this was the last minute decision. In my private community group, I started something on Tuesday. I had Spring into Spring Surprise. I'm constantly surprising them with something. And I have courses and programs. And each day this week, which reminds me, I have to do that when I get off here, set up tomorrow's. I put one of my programs on sale and slashed it half price. Yesterday was my sign language. Tomorrow is a shedding pounds of pain. Today happens to be breaking barriers. And I thought, how perfect, because it's mindset. It's everything we're talking about. Those fears, getting through to going live, connecting with people in your business. It's everything that I wish I knew in the very beginning. Like I said, I wish I knew, or would have made life easier. And it's what I do now as a coach, and helping you to get through those barriers and those blocks, because it's not giving you knowledge that you didn't have. It's helping you pull down those barricades that you have in front of you to let what's been waiting to get to you from the other side. So I'm going to play it, see if hopefully it works for you. I'm going to try it. These are like clips from Breaking Barriers, it's called. So you can get an idea. There's 3 videos involved. There's journals, there are activities in here. It's coaching, but not one-on-one. It's coaching through a program.
How to go about that. That's all great. I use it myself. But without the mindset, without the foundation, the structure has nothing to stand on. The business has nothing to stand on. And that's the piece I saw missing. Or food for thought, besides what you have on in your activities, in your journals, and the actions that you'll be taking to get you, I don't know if I would say where you're going, as much as bringing down the blocks to allow what's already in front of you to flow in. So I'm super excited that you're with me. I can't wait to hear what's going to be happening with you along the way. It's all real. As you notice, I'm not stopping and starting this a million times. So it's almost as if I'm talking to you live, which I do many lives. And if I mess up and it wasn't exactly what I needed to say, I'll pause a minute and get back to you. Life's not perfect. Life's messy. And when we learn that we can deal with that messy and make it work for us, that's when you're going to find success.
So that's an idea of, I just took a whole bunch of clips videos I had put in there and shared with you. And it's kind of coaching one-on-one. I tried to make it live. I actually did not splice. I spliced this to put it together. But when I made it, because I have one-on-one clients and not everyone can do that or is comfortable doing that at this point. So I put this together to hit masses and to, something that it would have been useful to me. Again, I talk to myself. Again, it's my niche is me. And if you don't need it, then you don't need it. But if you think you do, I want to offer it to you. If you're checking in live, well, this is not live, but if you're checking in and at least watching this afterwards and you connected the first time, I will offer it still to you. So this is what it is. It is normally $120 for the whole package of the videos, the journals, the activities. For my girls in my group today, it was slashed to half price, so it was $60. If anyone here is watching the webinar and says, I think I could use that, I don't really want to talk to someone. I have a coach, by the way, and that was happening in the other, the first time I did this, my rehearsal for this one. I see a coach every 2 weeks. It used to be once a week. Now it's every 2 weeks. I just talked to him today, actually, and he's like, how's it going? What's shifting? I'm like, because I haven't been able to see him recently. My mom's been sick and doing very well, though. And a lot of it was going on with Easter and stuff. So I was like, I need to see you. That doesn't sound right, but you know what I mean. So I'm going actually to see him on Monday. And huge. That for me, it keeps me growing. And let's put it this way, this is not for you. Again, this is not for you. But I would suggest having someone in your life, I cannot say it enough, that will continue to have you think and reflect and question and change and grow. Because if you want to keep evolving, then you need to do that and surround yourself with people that'll lift you and challenge you, not just give you yeses all the time, and will ask you those questions to help you grow. So I'm 3 years in with my coach. I hope he doesn't leave or ever retire, because he is my, I don't know, say, he's not my rock. It's not like I rely on him, but he's my challenger. He'll challenge me and give me those questions to help me continue to grow. So no matter what, find someone who will do that for you. If you're not ready for one-on-one, find a program. I don't know how many things I invest in myself, programs that I buy of other people to get me to a next level and get me thinking differently. Never, ever stop. If you want to be able to be there for someone else, be there for yourself first. So if you want to, I will say, well, actually, anybody who signed up for this, I'm going to be selling, you know, I'm like talking about, I can't get that word out. Sending a follow-up email with the link of how you can get it. And there's a special coupon just for you girls. I say girls because I don't have any guys in this, that it's called webinar, and you'll get the whole entire thing for $50. And that's not the norm for it. Okay. So mindset work, find your purpose, your passion, and then your tribe. That's pretty much everything that goes into play here. Here's what I'm going to leave you with. My takeaways, if you want to say. Have fun, have fun, have fun. I can't say that I'm having the most fun doing it twice just because I'm like, Jen, but it's okay. It was the first time, and I still am for you too. It just, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what else? All these other things I have to do, but I have to stop that. Be present in the moment. See, I'm doing a little coaching. A lot going on at one time in here. What you share matters. I cannot stress that enough. If you need to write that on a Post-it and stick it all around your room, do it. I'm a Post-it queen. I have affirmations everywhere. And not Post-its like, you're great. This is one that was important to me. What you share matters. If you think it, someone else needs to hear it. And that's the truth. That's what you need to keep putting into your head. There are no mistakes, only lessons. My belief in life. I wonder if I can I do this? Can you see my wall? Like, this is literally, I have like this wall of affirmations and inspirations, and these are things that are actually on my own, or have been on my own Post-its on my desk at school, or at my desk here. And here's my biggie. If you remember nothing else, and if it's not even about going live, you are always, look at the right camera. You are always someone else's island. Boop. I almost knocked that out. Sis, why don't I use those? I'm so animated. You're always someone else's island B. You may not feel you are where you want, and maybe you're watching someone else, or maybe it's so hard for me to believe this, but maybe you're watching this and thinking, oh my God, I could never do that. That's what I thought when I made that other video of my inviting someone to my coach's webinar, my coach above me, my downline, well, my upline. Always, this is a non-negotiable. There's no question. You are always someone else's island B. Where you are now is where someone else wants to get to. And where you're looking at wanting to go, that's fine. You're always something that you want to aspire to, but you are always someone's island B. Now, my true deep belief is that we're all one. There is no different levels. We're all the same. But as you're traveling, this is almost like I visualize, when you get on a highway and there's entrance ramps and there's exit ramps. It's like we're all traveling, and then we just come on at different places in that journey together. So it's like, oh, you've been on this road for a while. All right, I'm going to drive with you for a while. Okay, that's the idea. But always, no question, you are always someone else's island B. You are already where someone else wants to get to. So instead of only looking at, but I'm not yet, I'm not. You are for the person coming onto the highway. You are for the person who's trying to get to your island. Okay. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind as you're doing this, because we always like to look at what we're not, and we forget at what we totally are already. And not in the fake, like, I'm great. That doesn't mean anything. If you're not changing the inside, if you change the behavior without changing the thoughts, the behavior is not going to stick. You need to change the thoughts. And that's a thought that you can absolutely change. And it changed my life thinking that way too. Here's the last part. And I'm going to actually just erase everything I just said. 1, listen to your inner guide. The voice, not the voice, any voice that tells you what you can't do. That's the ego. We get her out of the way. The voice that tells you, this would be great if I I could do this. I don't think I can, but this would be great if, or I'd really like to. That's the part that you need to listen to. The other part's a bunch of baloney. You want to get rid of that. And here's the last piece. I just did this whole webinar for you to get you started. But guess what? If you start and some of the things that I say would be great to do don't work for you, don't listen to me. Ignore everyone's advice at some point, once you've got enough to get going, and go with your gut. Go with what you believe and ignore everyone else. I actually have stopped unfollowing people that when I was in Beachbody, they used to say, watch this person, she's top seller. That's what you want to do to be successful. And to me, all I was doing was, when I said before, I think a little slide ago, is that we live in oneness. We are the same. When we feel unkind, or we start to judge ourselves, or we judge others, is when we feel that separation. And by watching what someone else was doing and trying to emulate them, I was separating myself, and I could never be good enough. So I stopped unfollowing all the people they used to say to follow to become what you want. Become what you want by feeling balanced in your choices. That's what you need to do. If you want to surround yourself with people who share your vibration and you can bounce questions off of and maybe learn from. I absolutely do that. I'm in people's groups that I learn from, but I don't try to be them. A person I love listening to, and I hope to be able to coach with, learn and train with in June, is Gabrielle Bernstein. I've met her a couple times at some of her live events, and I had to work really hard when I went to go see her to not do one of those, oh, it's Gabby, because this is someone that I enjoy that energy and I want to share with. And that was enlightening and empowering to not feel like she was somewhere I'm not. Is she somewhere I'm not? Yes, but we're the same. There's no question. That's something she teaches too, that we are the same. We're just at different parts in our life. So go with your gut, listen to your inner guide, and trust in yourself. The last part is, if you're not part of my group, that's the website right there. I'm not going to click it because I'm wondering if that's how I lost it last time when I left this page. And I'd love to have you. We have over 700 women. They are the most phenomenal women I have ever met. There's no join me. Every Friday I have what's called Fempreneur Friday, where they open up and everyone does share their products and their services and their websites and their blogs. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful share. There's no competition. It's a place to come to. It might be virtual, but it's the real world for me. Besides my family, obviously, but the news is not the real world for me. The devastation of all what's going on, and not because I'm closing my eyes or being a Pollyanna, my energy doesn't go there. It's not something I need to put my energy in a place that will change things from a loving place. And our only purpose in life is to give and receive love. That's it. As simple as it is, it's not that simple, but it's a simple thought that's beyond profound. And I'm always asking myself in every situation, am I giving love right now? Forget am I receiving, but in this is my mood, are my words, are my actions. Right now, I feel like I've given you this in love, in authenticity, in genuineness, in the gifts, in offering my courses to you. The purpose was not to sell a course. The purpose was to share my knowledge on going live. And then, hey, if someone needs this, I'm going to give it to you at the reduced cost. But it wasn't a manipulative, let's plan this around this. It was a last minute, hey, I think I'm going to do this for you guys. Okay. If you come from a place of love, you never have to worry about what someone else is thinking, because it doesn't matter. If you come from a place of authentic, genuine caring for others, your service will be felt. People will want to follow you, not follow you like follow you, but follow you, be with you, be connected to you, and the universe will provide abundantly. And that's how I'm going to close. So thank you for joining me. I hope it came out right now that I've done it a second time. And I will share the link with you. I'll put it up in YouTube and then I'll share it with you. So I do apologize that you didn't get to see the other women asking questions and answering, but what I'll do is there was a link to, we talked about other websites that are supportive and that give you that that energy that you can learn. You continue to learn from other women that own their own business or work for an MLM, and that aren't trying to sell you something, but truly sharing. So I'll add that in there. That was pretty much the wrap up of what happened. All right. So let's see if I can stop sharing and go back to me. I'm looking a little tired by the end of the night here now that I've done it twice, but that's it. So I thank you for joining me alone in here, but I hope that helps get you past those fears or started on your journey. There's no perfect time. Stop waiting for it. Have fun. Come from a place of love. You never have to question yourself of what someone else will think, because it won't matter. If you know for sure and it's aligned with you, if they think something different, then it's not them. I mean, it's not for them. It's not you, and it's not for them. Okay, so have a great night, day. I don't know, I'm done. I don't even know what time it is here. It's 10:08. So I'm done now. All right. So have a great night, and contact me. Join the community. Send me a message, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. I'm not an expert. I am just me that's learned the FAIL method, my first attempt in learning, and my second attempt and third attempt. And I've learned how not to do it to get to the point where it works for me. And it may work for you. I have to believe it's working for someone. Otherwise, I wouldn't be taking the time to do it. All right. So have a great night and day tomorrow. And I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.